Hey everybody, so in this part I'm talking a little bit more about some of the humor or some of the lighter aspects of what I'm going through. One of the side effects I've had that I don't know if it had come into effect at the time I recorded the last session was foot sensitivity. The balls of my feet have gotten really sensitive, so it's been kind of, I still can walk, I'm still comfortable in walking, but it's just weird sensations. So Croc actually makes a very fun looking orthopedic type of shoe designed for diabetics and people with foot sensitivity. So yeah, I've got my lovely Crocs here. You put two of these together on some long legs like I have, and guess what? You've got Mickey Mouse feet. And I'm actually going to get a black pair, so they're going to be really Mickey Mouse-ish looking. But they're really comfortable. They look a little stupid, a little hokey, but hey, it's all about comfort right now, and I am taking advantage of that whole comfort thing. Another fun thing that's happened fairly recently in the last week was I went back to the zoo and I did one of the concerts. There's like 3 left for the summer. I did one, the next one, which is happening on Sunday, which is my birthday, so I'm not going to be there. And then our final concert on September 22nd with Cyndi Lauper. I'm going to definitely be doing that one as well too. So I went back to the zoo to do the Zoo Tunes concert, and so I took a big sheet cake thanking all the volunteers that I work with for all their love, their prayers and support, and that was awesome. But what happened the day before was I went to Party World to pick up some compostable plates. The zoo is really hyper about wanting to not use to recycle and to compost and do all those great things. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing my part. So I got compostable party plates, and so I went to go check out and the whole bit. Gave the cashier my card, the swipe and the whole bit, and on the back I wrote ID required, so that way it's always being checked. But in all the stuff I went through with losing the hair or shaving parts of it, and I still have the spots, losing the mustache, losing the goatee, losing a bunch of weight, glasses, I look nothing like my DMV photo. So here's the poor clerk, she's looking at my ID, she's looking up at me, looking at my ID, looking up at me, and I don't look anything like my photo. And so I had a hat on at the time, took that off, and I said, chemo. And she goes, oh. And then her eyes bugged out. She goes, oh. And so she handed me my ID back and handed me my card. And she goes, here you go, have a great day. And I think she didn't know what to do with me, but it made me chuckle a little bit because, again, people don't know what to do with you because the chemo word kind of freaks everybody out. It's like I can say the chemo word, I can say the cancer word, I can say Hodgkin's, whatever it is. People don't know how to react or respond. And for me, actually, it's like, it's a bit of I'm having a little bit of fun with it. Sometimes at people's expense because it's something that I've had to embrace. It's like anything that happens in your life, you have to sometimes just embrace it. And I've kind of taken that approach. Rather than crying, rather than being angry, I have my moments, I have all that's going on when I say, yes, I am angry about it, and yes, I get emotional about it, but I'm also trying to have some lightheartedness with it. A lot of humor is a great place to be sometimes when you're just trying to figure out where you are and what's going on. So I've been, very lighthearted in a lot of ways about what's going on. It's like I've dubbed I don't know if they're hematologists or what they're called, but I go to the lab every other week I go every week to get my blood drawn, either before chemotherapy or on those off weeks to just get a level check as to what's all happening in my body. And so I call them the vampires. And so when I went in for one of my blood draws, there I was on the Bluetooth talking to somebody, had a skinny vanilla latte in one hand and my arm was stuck out with the other, and basically they were taking blood and I was just sipping away on my coffee and having a good time. What else are you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna get stuck one way or another. I mean stuck with a needle. They're gonna poke you and take the blood, so have fun with it, or I can freak out. When I started the process, I was deathly afraid of needles. Now it's like, okay, here you go, here's my arm. Which one do you want? Left, right? Do you want the top? Do you want the bottom? You know, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Another thing that freaks people out is the portacat. I have this port in my chest, and if you saw some of the Facebook photos, you saw this big bandage thing on my chest. That actually is the hardware attached to what's sitting inside of my chest. It's basically like a little orb that sits there, and they basically put hardware on top, and they kind of throw this needle into it and hook me up. So there's a coworker of mine who sits not too far away, a few cubes away, and so when I went back to work in August, early part of August, everybody wants to know what's going on, so I'm explaining the whole process, what I go through, and the whole thing with getting hooked up and the chemotherapy and everything else. So she walks by every time I get to the part about the portacat, and she's like, la 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 la, I don't want to hear about it, I don't want to hear about it. And rightly so. I mean, if she's, you know, it is what it is. But so it's sort of like a little chuckle when she sees me talking to somebody. She will actually make a detour, kind of going around the cubes, because people will stop by my cube and we'll chat, or we'll go to another space. But every time, even when we go to another space completely away from the cube area, there she is walking on by, and we're right there talking about the portacat. So that's another little humorous spot about it. A lot of people get freaked out, and I'm just simply like trying to have some fun with it, share the story, but still share the story in a way that doesn't freak them out, because when you hear the word cancer, you hear the word Hodgkin's, a lot of people are like, whoa, oh my gosh, you know, and the whole thing. You know, I'm Hodgkin's stage 4, which is as bad as you can get with Hodgkin's, as bad as you can get with cancer. But the beauty is I got a 90% success rate, or a cure rate, even at that far along in the process. So I'm just trying to be in great spirits, trying to have fun with it, and just have a good time. So I did get the iPad, because we have to be chemo chic. I'm still looking for a fun, colorful hat. I've got the Kangles I'm wearing now, which are fun, but I need to find something a little bit more out there. The other cool thing is that they offer wigs to every cancer patient, men and women. So I was thinking maybe a Carol Channing bob or something like that to kind of complement my head, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to try to have some fun with this. I know there's going to be some hard days. There are some hard days I have with it, namely that right after chemo. But even when I'm in the chair all hooked up, and we've done 3, and by the time I post this, I'll have done 4 chemos, because my next one is actually on the 30th, and the 31st is going to be probably a harsh day for me. But I'm just trying to have fun and just be light, and kind of just enjoy with what the experience is. It's a little bit like I've listened to a couple of different people talk about their experience, and the same thing. It's like, you know, there's a fine line between crying and laughing, and I'm choosing to take the side of the line that's more on the laughing side. Another interesting thing that's going on with me right now a little bit is I'm having these funky dreams, and I'm waking up realizing I've had arguments with inanimate objects. There was the toaster, there was the pillow, and now I'm waiting for the lampshade to show up in one of my dreams and having an argument with that. I gotta work it through,